Real life, yeah, but on camera, you really pick up my blinking. I'm like fucking Isaac Hayes and as the Duke of New York.
Oh my God, it's the best. It is weird when you do. I mean, people don't fucking realize how alarming it is. Like when I see myself on like a Tonight Show, and it is weird shit. My whole thing is like, when did you get so fat? You're fat. And like, if walking down the street, you wouldn't go, there goes a fat guy. But I guess when you walk around at a certain weight and then you get married and have kids, and all of a sudden you go, nice fucking face, fatty. But, you know, and I always see now I got this big giant bald spot, and I just tell people it's a yarmulke and they can fucking,
well, that's the beauty of being comics is we talk about that stuff. It takes the sting out of it a little bit. It makes it more obvious, but everybody has their fucking hang-ups with themselves. It's just we talk about it, so I think we live longer because we make fun of it. You know, it sounds cheesy, but...
You said that once. Someone was on Opie and Anthony, and I think maybe you and Burr were talking. Wow, I fucking listen to Opie and Anthony a little too much, maybe. Like, you know, I remember on May 11th, it was Chalktober, actually. It was in October, and you guys called it Chalktober. Yeah. Stan was still there. Wow. And what happened was, and you guys said, you guys were going on, because you both have acts where you'll tell the audience shit that's wrong.
Yeah.
And how shit needs to be fixed. Is that an accurate?
You mean in the set?
In your set, you'll go, this fucking thing that bothers me, you'll vent.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's a much easier way than me fucking mumble mouth.
Oh, I didn't know what I think you meant something went wrong.
You and Bill both will have sets where you'll vent for a good portion of it. And whether it's venting about yourself or venting about the shit around, Bill's more the shit around him. You vent more about the self and get it off your chest. And you said on Opie and Anthony, maybe that's why we all, as comics, live so long. It's because we're the only group of people that actually get it off our chests.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking more about it. Comics are weird. Like, a bunch of guys have died recently, too, man. Like, you know, I mean, Geraldo, fucking Patrice DiStefano, fucking Richard Jenny, Robert
Schimmel. He hung himself with a fucking belt.
What's that?
Didn't he hang himself with a fucking belt?
No, Jenny shot himself.
He shot himself?
In the shower, man. Shot himself.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking, a lot of guys have died, man. I know 6 comics that have killed themselves. Fucking 6 fucking guys. Richard Jenny, a girl named Nicole, Dave Lovekin, who was a comic out of Delaware, Joe Del Duca, and,
5 seconds on the clock, Jimmy.
I know. But I do know. I had counted.
All right, there's 2 left. Angie, do you want to pass? Do you want to make him finish? Or do you want to try to steal the round? All right. And Geraldo died in fucking New Brunswick, New Jersey. Like, if there really is no more depressing place than to die in a hotel outside the Stress Factory.
Yeah, the Hilton.
With Vinny Brand going, why isn't he down here? The show was supposed to start an hour ago. Where the hell are you?
That's your last thought as you're dying is that Vinny. I bet you that was a satisfying thing for Geraldo. As he died, he's thinking, oh good, that asshole is going to be stuck doing a call for 90 minutes. That's probably the last thing he thought is how fucking Vinny would be stuck on that cocksucker phone.
He'll probably be calling from his mobile phone in that fucking van with his name on the side of it.
You know, it's funny.
You know you're an egomaniac when you own a comedy club. You know you're an egomaniac when it's not called the Stress Factory. It's called Vinny Brand's Stress Factory.
I never noticed that part.
Yeah, and there's a fucking white van that says Vinny Brand's, like Vinny Brand's bigger than the word Stress Factory.
Yeah, he really is a fool.
But he does pay us.
Yeah, very well. Yeah, I love him.
We love you, Vinny. But let us finish, Vinny. He can't fucking hear this. He's deaf. He's actually deaf.
But Geraldo, it was funny. Not long after he died, my high school reunion was held in that hotel. I couldn't go. I was super depressed. But his was very sad, but it was easier to understand because I knew what it was. It was like, you know, I'd done Montreal with him not long before, and he was hosting the Nasty Show, so I saw him all week. And he was off by himself a lot. And when we talked, it was great, but I could see that he was having a hard time. But I know that process because I'm sober. So it's like, you know when someone's partying a lot, that what the penalty could be.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's not as surprising as a guy dying
of natural causes. And there are like red flags. And sure. People listening, like we talk about a lot on the podcast about addiction and shit like that and my battles. And Jimmy just said he was sober. I wasn't going to say it, but you're sober. And it is like, hey man, if you don't fucking text me back, and I know you're an addict, 95% of the time, there's only one reason an addict doesn't fucking return your text.
Right.
It's because they're hey man, I don't get cell phone signal where at my hotel. That's what fucking Starbucks is for, dude.
Yeah.
Like you could call everybody back. So you saw, did you have a sense of doom? Did you see Greg? Was it like?
Well, he knew I was sober. We had talked many times. But I mean, again, I'm not a guy who tells, I don't try to save people. You can't do it. It turns them off.
Right.
I wait for them to come to me. This way they come to you and talk to you. But, with him, you could just see, I would see, I'd be like, hey man, how are you? And whenever I said, how you doing, man, he knew what I meant.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would talk about it and go, man, I'm doing
It is a different how you doing than people in the street. The how you doing between addicts
he knew the difference.
It's a how you doing.
Hey man, how are you? He knew I was asking, are you sober?
Right.
And there was times where he'd go, I'm okay. And we wouldn't talk. So I knew he was probably using. Or there's other times he would go, hey man, and we would chat. But I always left it up to him. You have to.
But in Montreal, did you see a guy that was obviously using?
Yeah, I mean, because he was just locked in that little room where the host sits. And I heard he was going out and partying after. I didn't see it myself, but my girlfriend at the time with me noticed it too. She's like, he's going in that room a lot by himself, and it just felt like he was isolating. And yeah, man, it's really sad.
It is super sad. Di Stefano too is like to me. Di Stefano is like the saddest one. Well, Patrice will be the saddest one
Patrice
forever.
For me is the hardest.
That'll be like in Mass when they say in the silence of our hearts, like that'll never go away. But Di Stefano overcame all of his addictions.
Yeah.
Like just fucking kicked, like, it was the heroin too, right?
Heroin,
like
fucking
he really,
booze,
and he was just a straight up fucking by the big book guy.
Yeah, and he was doing well.
And then he had a fucking heart attack.
No one saw that coming because he was a heavy guy, but he wasn't
not really
that big. He was just a big, stocky fucking animal from the
Patrice
Bronx.
Is waking up at 2 and making homemade crab cakes with extra mayo. You go, hey Patrice, this might be bad for you.
Yeah, Patrice, please. Yeah, his eating wasn't. I mean, I think he tried to get better at the end, but it was just, But Mike was shocked to everybody. I mean, I couldn't believe when he fucking died.
Wow, what better way to segue into our sponsor than people die.
Absolutely.
And when you die, you need a place to put them.
Always.
So instead of a coffin, may I recommend
your self-storage in Baltimore.
Close. U.S. storage centers.
Wow, I was kidding.
If anybody in your family dies, don't go through that whole rigmarole with picking out caskets.
Right.
It's like, put them in a U.S. You know what? Family plan. Put the whole family in there.
Sure.
John Wayne Gacy never would have went to fucking jail if he had a storage center.
Absolutely, but he had to be greedy and keep them in the house. He was cheap. He was a chiseler.
He was a chiseler. He was a real swindler.
Real pinch penny.
He was a pinch penny and he was a cheapskate.
Real skinflint.
Comedy pyramid. You win. Skinflint?
I think I'm out after that, though.
Yeah, no, you win. That's the last fucking boulder. They go, I live in Ron and Fez, and Ron, he doesn't do it anymore when people would call up and pile on. Be like, he was a skinflint, and Ron just kept hitting that button, comedy pyramid. And then he would just declare a winner. Hey, your house, for real, just put shit in storage. Colin? You want to do this, Colin?
Sure.
All right. Don't make a big deal out of it. Your house is disgusting. Do you have too many photos of you and B, C, and D level celebrities and yourself? Why don't you take all that extra photography? I can't even talk. You got me all nervous. I'm not used to live reads. It's got to be 60 seconds. I don't even have a clock. Look, nobody needs that many lamps. Take them to U.S. storage centers and keep me safe until you need them or sell them. Go to www.jmohr.com. I don't know. How did Jay Mohr get in that ad? And click on the U.S. storage center banner and get a 3-month for up to 50% off based on availability. That really is the key to getting a discount. Because if it's full with John Wayne Gacy's people, what are you going to do? It's starting to rot. Maybe you can get that out of here. If Jimmy is done with Peter Chris's drum set and Cat Whiskers collection, maybe you could, give me 50% off. Sorry, we're all full. Jimmy Norton just got here with the entire Dave Matthews Band's string section. You'll also receive a $25 moving supplies credit. Boxes, locks, whatever you need, These guys are some of the good guys. They secure. You got me nervous, you fucking chisel-faced idiots. These people, U.S. Storage Center, they support Cureit.org. That's Cureit with a K. It's a kidney cancer research charity. You are a customer. It's hard to fucking do a charity read. It's Colin. I'll do it. Shut up. You as a customer can contribute by rounding up to the nearest dollar. 100% of that money goes to charity. U.S. storage centers match your contribution dollar for dollar. All right. Just go to jmohr.com and click the U.S. storage banner. That's the best I could do. I tried.
Storage stuff is good. You got to have it, man. I have 2 storage units in the city. You have to have storage.
You have to have a storage unit. There's no goddamn room in this town, Jimmy, is there? What are you going to do when Gene Simmons takes off his Otto and George hairdo and hands it to you? You're not going to hand that in your home and scare hookers away. You need a goddamn storage center. U.S. storage centers. Click the goddamn link. jmohr.com. The name of Jim Norton Special.
Please be offended.
Is Please Be Offended, and it's on
Epics and epicshd.com. If you don't have Epics, just go. You can get a free trial. You can just watch the special online if you want.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's a really great deal. It's a wonderful blog. And
so if I go home, and I will, and if I go on my computer, I go to epics.com. How do I do it? For real.
I think epicshd.com.
Let me say for real more, like a jerk.
That's all right.
Epicshd.com.
That's, believe me, it's better than All Kidding Aside, which I throw out a lot.
All Kidding. I thought that was the name of your special.
All Kidding Aside.
That was the working title.
Yeah.
All kidding aside.
All kidding, ... aside.
Parentheses. Shh. Just a picture of you going, shh.
Yeah.
So if I want, you can watch previews of your special?
I don't know. You can see some of them online, but I couldn't even.
Not you, fans.
Yeah, the Sandusky. Look up Jim Norton, Penn State 1 and Penn State 2, because I do a lot of Sandusky stuff.
Ugh.
So while he's still waiting for his sentencing, it's still timely.
I like that he's going to get 400 years in prison.
Yeah.
It's too bad he only has one lifetime to fucking spend in jail.
He's in trouble.
How the fuck did they put a football field on like next year? Some ESPN, 2 is going to be like Penn State, Illinois, and they're just going to cut to the crowd. There's going to be people in fucking Penn State shit going, woo! Woo! It's like, really? If you could shut a program down for gambling, like SMU got the death sentence for fucking gambling, how, with bouncing children off your fucking penis, that should be a death sentence too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. They handled it terribly. Paterno did a nice job. I beat him up really well.
I like he fucking got cancer and died in about 48 hours.
Yeah.
Joe, we don't know how this happened. Yesterday you're perfectly healthy. You have cancer.
Yeah.
Where? Joe? Somebody wake up Joe. This isn't funny, Joe. That's the quickest fucking spread ever.
Well, you know what it is you see your golden years, like we're going to retire, we'll sit on the lake. What happened? He's been fucking kids since 1970, and I'm fired? Dead.
Pelvic cancer, something weird.
Yeah.
A cancer in his dick area.
Did he really?
I think it wasn't pelvic cancer.
Prick.
Cancer.
He's a lefty.
What are some of the Sandusky bits?
I just make fun of the whole thing.
Give us a sneak peek, Jimmy.
I'll give you the subjects. I mock Joe Paterno, and then I mock Jerry Sandusky, and I mock the fact that he got caught by a redhead, and then I make fun of.
Why is that different from being caught by any other breed?
I don't know.
Child?
I just said it made me feel.
It does seem odd.
I felt bad for him to have to get busted by a redhead.
That ginger that turned him in, or didn't turn him in, and then had to turn him in.
Yeah, he turned him in. That's a snitch. And then I make fun of the Westboro Baptist Church, and I really brutalize Rick Santorum. Somehow, I really don't attack conservatives that hard because to me it's too predictable a comic angle. But I really hated Santorum, so it was kind of fun to fucking.
Conservatives, it seem like on the internet is the biggest blowback in the world. Is when you say anything about a conservative, like they go fucking bananas.
Oh, do they?
You're a liberal Hollywood douchebag. And like when I went on Bill O'Reilly, let me tell you more about me, Jimmy.
Yeah.
When I went on Bill O'Reilly, he goes, "You and those other liberal pinheads out there, blah blah blah." And then I just realized there's no way out of this because I'm never not going to be a liberal pinhead. So I just started talking about my church. And it just fucking ground to a halt. I took all the arrows out of his quill.
Right.
Oh, skinflint.
Yeah.
And I was like, think globally, act locally. What can I do? I literally went, what can I do, Bill? I can't save the world, but you know what I can do? My church, St. Monica's, I could do what I can for my congregation that, and he was just like,
He didn't know what to do.
He didn't know what to do, and then we became pals.
Yeah, I've never done his show.
But conservatives, it's funny because O&A, you would think you guys would fit into the mold. There you go. We're both so fucking tired.
I'm exhausted.
Hang in there, Bubby. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Tops. You guys fit into the mold of I guess, perception-wise, you work in media, so you're liberal pinheads, according to Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly are the biggest O&A fans in the world.
Yeah, I'm doing Hannity Friday, actually. He's been really good to me. I don't think O'Reilly likes this, but Hannity does. And, it's funny, Ted Nugent called me a liberal one time. We were arguing about something. And it was like,
Well, who isn't a liberal compared to that fucking maniac? He wears loincloths. He's a fucking caveman.
But it's odd how people, I guess I'm a judgmental ass too. So when somebody judges me, it's like, man, you got a liberal. Oh, come on, dude. That's just so inaccurate. But to hear it said, I guess I do come off like that sometimes.
I guess it's weird too, like, as grown-ups at 40 years old plus, like, the fact that you think gay people should be allowed, and putting myself, I'm assuming we think alike, the fact that gay people should probably be able to get married is like, whoa, fuck, okay, liberal, like, really? That makes me a fucking liberal?
Yeah.
I thought it made me a human being. He's a fucking human being, Jimmy! Hey, gay!
I've gotten really,
And I always see now I got this big giant bald spot, and I just tell people it's a yarmulke and they can fucking,
well, that's the beauty of being comics is we talk about that stuff. It takes the sting out of it a little bit. It makes it more obvious, but everybody has their fucking hang-ups with themselves. It's just we talk about it, so I think we live longer because we make fun of it. You know, it sounds cheesy, but...
You said that once. Someone was on Opie and Anthony, and I think maybe you and Burr were talking. Well, I fucking listen to Opie and Anthony a little too much, maybe. Like, you know, I
think something went wrong.
You and Bill both will have sets where you'll vent
Yeah.
for a good portion of it. And whether it's venting about yourself or venting about the shit around, Bill's more the shit around him. You vent more about the self and get it off your chest. And you said on Opie and Anthony, maybe that's why we all, as comics, live so long. It's because we're the only group of people that actually get it off our chests.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking more about it. Comics are weird. Like, a bunch of guys have died recently, too, man. Like, you know, I mean, Geraldo, fucking Patrice Stefano.
Remember on May 11th, it was Jocktober, actually. It was in October, and you guys called it Jocktober. Stan was still there. Wow. And what happened was, and you guys said, you guys were going on, because you both have acts where you'll tell the audience shit that's wrong.
Yeah.
And how shit needs to be fixed. Is that inaccurate?
You mean in the set?
In your set, you'll go, this fucking thing that bothers me, you'll vent.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's a much easier way than me fucking mumble mouth.
Oh, I didn't know it's your life, but on camera you really pick up my blinking. I'm like fucking Isaac Hayes and as the Duke of New York.
Oh my God, it's the best. It is weird when you do, I mean, people don't fucking realize how alarming it is. Like, when I see myself on like a Tonight Show, and it is weird shit, my whole thing is like, when did you get so fat? You're fat. And like, if walking down the street, you wouldn't go, there goes a fat guy. But I guess when you walk around at a certain weight, and then you get married and have kids, and all of a sudden you go, nice fucking face, fatty. But, that's...
Well, fucking Richard Jenny, Robert
Schimmel. He hung himself with a fucking belt.
What's that?
Didn't he hang himself with a fucking belt?
No, Jenny shot himself.
He shot himself?
In the shower, man. Shot himself.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking, a lot of guys have died, man. I know 6 comics that have killed themselves. Fucking 6 fucking guys. Richard Jenny, a girl named Nicole, Dave Lovekin, who was a comic out of Delaware, Joe Del Duca, and
5 seconds on the clock, Jimmy.
I know.